Welcome to Four Movies, where we will be discussing four movies that have something in common. But what they have in common, I know. But do you? If you do, say it before the end of the video. And if you don't, stay to the end of the video. We'll watch and I'll tell. If you watch, I will tell you. And if you do know, then stay to the end of the video also and find out if you were right. So, yeah. That was... seemed like I stopped learning how to make sentences midway, but still. Okay, we're going to go into four movies. I'm going to try and stay focused. With the help of Andy from 40-Year-Old Virgin. What are you going to say? One more time.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Okay. And the first movie? Boom. I Love You, Beth Cooper. Yeah. I know you're like, I was hoping this movie was in there. It is. Super fun movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend you do see it. If I'm not mistaken, directed by Chris Columbus, who has such a unique repertoire of movies in his catalog. If I'm not mistaken, I think he wrote the screenplay for Goonies, wrote the screenplay for Gremlins, excuse me, and directed the first Harry Potter, maybe another one. Directed this, directed and wrote, well, no, he directed Home Alone, I believe, but yeah, fun movie there. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is a fun rom-com? I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's slightly romantic. Yeah, I guess it's comedy romance, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, I gotta look this up real quick. Because I think I know what these two movies have in common, but I just want to be 100% sure of this. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. I was right. The second movie is, boom, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Directed by John Hughes, directed and written by John Hughes, perhaps one of John Hughes' phenomenal films. I'm a big fan of Uncle Buck, but not because I'm an uncle. Maybe. Who knows? But basically, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the Bueller edition. We got Ben Stein in there. I was like, it's a Clear Eyes guy. Wins Ben Stein's money. What? I think he said that's going to be on his tombstone. He's like, probably there's going to be a tombstone. Everybody sees me. He's like, Bueller. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off, super fun. Matthew Broderick in there. And, like I said, iconic. Here's a movie. Boom! Hereafter. If you haven't seen this is a very unique film. It's very interesting and a super awesome tsunami scene in the movie. Only awesome because, it's a movie, so it's not real. But wild and interesting thoughts and concepts across the movie that's just well played. Would it be an anthology? I mean, kind of like an anthology. Kind of like it where it does this kind of like three stories going on and then interacting. But I understand. I understand the storytelling method of this. Some people like three stories. I like two stories. Honestly, I like two storylines going on. Primarily, probably because I grew up, thanks to my mom, watching a whole lot of Star Trek, and that's how Star Trek presented its stories. It was always like there's something going on the ship, something going on the planet, you know, or there's always like two main storylines going on side by side, and that's pretty much how I like to write whenever I'm writing. But every story has its own needs, so it depends on the story. You know, you get a good story, you tell it whatever way you do it. Like I always try to explain inspiration or creativity in general is just like a bunch of people standing out with butterfly nets. Like the creative people are able to catch something and then inspiration or whatever world and use it, whereas other people might catch this inspiration bug and not know what to do with it or anything like that. You know, sometimes you gotta ride the mania train out and enjoy it. You know, but it's really hard to explain. But it's one of those things where it's like I can get really creative in different areas. That's why I have, like I said, physical media, I have art, I am writing rhymes and stuff like that. There's always something. It's like I'm not writing that many rhymes right now, but I'm transcribing the rhymes from my phone to paper. So because, you know, in Spiral notebooks, because I don't have to charge that, you know, it'll always be there. And I usually use the phone just for typing and stuff like that because all the letters are the exact same size. So if I'm writing it out and then spelling and stuff like that, writing it out, it should work like that when I'm structuring the rhyme and whatnot. But I haven't been writing that much. But I've been doing the movies and stuff like that I've been doing these videos, you know, a video a day and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where like the inspiration was there. Now the inspiration is kind of, I guess, in going through my divorce or whatever world, it was like I felt really inspired, and so it was like there was a lot of stuff pushing out. You know, there were 70 plus songs, rhymes, and that were just pouring out of me. And now it's like I don't need that. I've got something else to focus on, so that's always good. But I always see creativity as one of those things where it's like, you know, you grab that inspiration and it's like, I see something here, and you know, you just go for it and follow that to the end. Like I said, starting a project is not hard. Finishing a project takes discipline, and you gotta, you know, apply that discipline to everything you do. Anyways, I'm sorry. it's getting late, I guess. Any Which Way You Can, which I didn't know is the sequel to Any Which Way But Loose. Had no idea. But I saw, so I was like, because I thought this was anyway. I was like, hey, that one with, yeah, like it's the one. Any which way you, any which way but loose. And I was like, I looked it up. I was like, but this says any which way you can. And then I looked at it. I was like, okay, so there's Any Which Way But Loose was the first one, and Any Which Way You Can was the sequel. So yeah, it's got a monkey in it. What do these movies have in common? Do you know? I will tell you right now. I Love You, Beth Cooper, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off both have Alan Ruck, I believe is the name. I just looked it up. Yeah, Alan Ruck, the guy who plays Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, is also the dad in I Love You, Beth Cooper. He was also in Freaky with Vince Vaughn, and he was also in Speed with Keanu Reeves. But yeah, that's how these two movies are connected. Oh, excuse me. But I guess there's other connections too, because yeah, they said Howard. It's not Howard Hughes. No, it is Howard Hughes. Is it Howard Hughes? Yeah. John Hughes. John Hughes? No. Not Howard Hughes. John Hughes. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Excuse me. John Hughes wrote and directed Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then he also had something to do with Home Alone. I don't know. There's some kind of other connection. The point is, Alan Ruck was in both of those. Hereafter and Any Which Way You Can are connected by Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is in Any Which Way You Can. I don't know if he's in Hereafter, but I do know he directed it. So, That's something. Anyways, if you watch this far, I've been going. I've been talking for so long. I'm sorry. If you've watched this far, you're awesome. Stay awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I am an artist and a physical media collector, and I'll be doing a video a day, internet providing, until I get a silver play button or a gold play button, or if I just run out of physical media to show you. But I do have a lot of physical media. And, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow.